The acute disease person will likely decline quicker and more steadily, and the chronic disease person will likely just have bouts of like going downhill and then crawling back up and then going downhill and then crawling back up, going downhill. So it's more of a stairway decline. Now, not always, but sometimes the acute disease person may have more symptoms than the chronic disease person. Now, this is definitely not always, okay? So sometimes a metastatic cancer will cause more symptoms. More pain, more shortness of breath, more confusion. Now, sometimes with the chronic illness, depending on what their disease is, there could be shortness of breath, there could be pain, there could be definitely agitation, right? But because this is a chronic illness, they have dealt with this for a long time, right? So their body has compensated over this time on like how to help them maintain and control their symptoms. So you may not notice the symptoms as much with the chronic illness versus the acute illness. Again, this is me generalizing. With this one in particular, it really does depend on the person, the disease, like what's been going on. But a lot of times that is what I see. The acute person may have more symptoms than the chronic person. Or if the chronic person has symptoms, it's stuff they've been dealing with for the past, 15 years, and their body has compensated pretty well and they can get it managed pretty easily. Okay, lastly, how are they similar? So the one way I see them being similar is during the actively dying phase. Now, the acute person may get to the actively dying phase quicker than the chronic person, but once they're at the actively dying phase, they both will look pretty similar. They're both going to be unconscious. They're both going to have changes in breathing, both going to have the death rattle or terminal secretions, as it's actually called. They'll both likely have changes in skin color. So a lot of those things will be similar, if not identical, for both these patients at the actively dying phase. The point is, hospice can help either way, whether it's an acute disease, a chronic disease, whether you're the outlier that doesn't fit into either of these categories, hospice is here to help you. So understanding how your disease progression will be is really important. So talk to your provider about what's my disease progression going to look like. Talk to your hospice company about that and talk to them about how they can help you plan. Because the more we know, the more educated we are, the better we will live and the more peaceful we